But the focus of today is Grohe's new product. A lot of it you may have seen already from the latter half of 2019, but there's also a lot of new stuff I'm going to get into that was just introduced at the Kitchen and Bath Show in January, that's just becoming available now. So it'll be a little bit of each. So moving along here, new product, innovations, and solutions. So Grohe, faucets to full bathroom solutions. One big note on Grohe is that Grohe is owned by Lixil. Lixil is the largest plumbing and building product suppliers or companies in the world. And to put that in perspective, Lixil's annual sales are $17 billion. So the point being made is that there are many resources with Lixil, and they are putting it into Grohe in new product, cutting edge technologies, and we'll touch on a little bit of them during this presentation as well. Full bathroom, you see the wall hung bowl on the wall. That has been in the line now for over 10 years. The carrier rather, at this point, not the bowl, but the carrier. We're gonna focus on kitchen systems. We're gonna talk about some water management, and the key focus of this presentation will be behind the wall and the valving that's available, and particularly smart control. So if you forget everything I say, this is being taped. You can get a copy of this presentation, and in the front of the price book that you have now, and the new one coming, are the Grohe moments of truth. So just to backtrack and reinforce why Grohe. Why should you bring somebody over to that Grohe display or open the book or show them the faucet when they walk into your showroom? And there are a couple really, really key features. First being Starlight. The chrome finish has always been, in my opinion, the best in the industry. It's meticulous in the preparation. It's the deepest and most durable chrome that you'll find on the market. And in the front of your price book, if you get into the Grohe technologies and the moments of truth as they call them, great place to start your sales presentation. Silk Move. Everything with Grohe is life cycle tested before they bring to market. In the factory in Lahr, Germany, the life cycle testing is equivalent to a family of 4 using that product for 14 years. Silk Move refers to the ceramic disc technology. And down the road, I'd be more than happy to show you a number of videos that show this faucet operating 14, 20 years from now with no change in the handle motion, and that's not the same for the competition. And often overlooked is the whisper technology that you see all over the price sheet and in the brochures as well. But if you're a European manufactured faucet, you have to adhere to a DIN or a decibel level code. And simply what that means is this Grohe faucet, all your Grohe faucets, shower valves, shower heads run roughly twice as quiet as something domestically produced. Whisper, I don't do it just talking about it on this presentation, but if you turn on our lav faucet or if you turn on our Roman tub filler, you don't hear it. You can talk over it, quiet. And furthermore, on the whisper operation is the wall carrier. If you put in the wall carrier for your wall hung bowl, it is the quietest carrier on the marketplace. Here we have, I cut a picture in of Chris Sleeper here. One of his baby pictures I put in this slide. Cute kid. But decibel level, you have whisper quiet, and simply on that carrier, you're down between 14 and 21 decibels. You're not going to hear that flush if you have a bed on the opposite wall or the bedroom next to that unit. Me talking to you right now, I'm at 65 decibels. And this is also the same for the faucetry, a really, really nice feature to point out to someone making that investment in Grohe. So the first new product to get into is the Ladylux L2. You've seen this. This was introduced fourth quarter in 2019. And Grohe had realized diminishing sales on Ladylux. The original Ladyluxes were introduced back in the 70s. And they were quite honest with us about diminishing returns. So they decided, let's change direction and introduce the new L2 collection. And there's already been a dramatic increase in what we're seeing in the marketplace. The original Ladylux, for those of you out there, Dick Gould, if you're on, I know this was, back in the early 80s, you had a very boxy, there was a black version, a red, cocoa brown version. There was actually a two-handled version of the Ladylux. But of note, Grohe in the United States had the first pull-out spout kitchen faucet in the marketplace. Everyone does today. Second generation, you recognize, had a few issues. The handle radius went back too far. If you were tight against your backsplash, you'd be banging your knuckles. That was changed on the Ladylux L3s that were introduced 6 years ago. But the issue had been the life cycle, the market trend of the Ladylux had long since passed. It had been on the market too long. The style line really had to be updated. And as you see here now, the L2s on the right is a much more sleek, modernized, refined kitchen faucet. The complete collection has that same style line in the handle. And more importantly, functionality, everything that customers, homeowners, you guys have been asking for has been answered. So we're on the prior versions of the Ladylux. We didn't have magnetic docking. We've got that now. You put that handheld back in, it locks in place in the arm, nice and secure, smooth and easy. And I'll hold this up here. Installation. A really nice quick fix mounting nut now comes with all the Ladylux L2s. So you slide that up your supply lines, up the shank, screw it on, and then there's one quick, and if you can hear this, it's just one quick, simple turn that locks that faucet in place securely. So an installer, unlike the old versions where you had to get that brass nut up, you had to lay on your back and reach and get the drop light out, and you had to put a couple of Phillips head screws in place to fasten it down. This, once you get the hang of it, could actually be done without looking at the installation from under the deck. So you're going to find this on a couple other versions that I point out here in a second as well. But the full collection, and there are 8 variations, starting with the Ladylux pull down, the Cafe. You have the touch version on the far left. You have the pull down with 3 sprays that we're going to talk about in a second. And that second from the left version also has a prep, smaller in height version as well. If you're looking for something more cylindrical, the next 2 pull downs are a pull out spout as well, but give you a different size on the pull out and a different aesthetic. You have the pull out, and down at the bottom, the beverage faucet comes with a filtering option. So some really nice additional features on this collection as well, and the pot filler and corresponding soap dispenser. So your first spray is your laminar spray, non-splashing stream, very quiet, non-splashing, very functional. Hold on to the trigger, you have a spray function. You hold that trigger down, and new option here that we hadn't had on anything in the past is the blade spray. You've got a small port on the face of that head that, holding the button down, you can blast anything, pots and pans, cleaning, cleaning your sink, but it really gives you a nice forceful spray option to finish the chores in the kitchen. And you could actually call this the fourth spray option, but the upper button allows you to pause. If your hands are full or you're moving something, you don't have to reach down to the lever. You can turn that off at the pull-out spray head. Questions? A lot of material right there. And just to point out as well, the price on the new Lady Luxe L2 collection goes down. So on average, you're between $40 and $100 less on the list price. So once again, in the marketplace, we are positioned very aggressively with this collection. New this year, second half of 2019 here as well. But the two big new introductions are hard graphite, which goes very well on the kitchen version, which I'll show in a second, with your black appliances. It has a very deep luster to it. It's not a matte black, but it is very, very dark in tone, very sharp. The polished nickel you see in the middle, we had done that with a few collections in the past, and that's going to basically be reintroduced with the Essence collection, and you'll have availability with some more things in showering products as well. And then Brush Cool Sunrise has already taken off in kitchen. You know, this, as every manufacturer is looking to find a way to bring back that tone that 20, 30 years ago in polished brass was extremely popular, but this has more of a matte tone to the finish. And once again, could be a real focal point as you get into your kitchen faucetry. So in the Essence, which is the first product offering in these new finishes, you've got the kitchen in the L-spout and the semi-pro and the corresponding soap dispensers to complete the offering. And then the bath range, down at the bottom in the middle, Smart Control, which has now been out on the market for a little while, you're going to have Smart Control options in these three finishes. Some of it, I've already been involved in a couple of bathrooms, a few jobs that have already put this complete collection in. I would say right now, check the availability. But as we get into the summer months, you'll find all of this stuff readily available, including the accessories. And with that new finish offering goes the new Smart Active Hand Shower. So this comes in two shapes. You've got the round face or the square face. You've got the Smart Tip technology. As you see the small finger down here in the bottom, very simple to use. If you're in the shower using this, you don't have to look to see what you are doing. You just get your finger on that and click the button on the back of that hand shower, and it'll change into one of the three spray patterns. You know, Power and Soul, which we've had on the market for a few years now. You have to look at that button to figure out which spray pattern you're going to activate. With this, you don't have to see a thing, and you'll have this in the new finishes as well. Some of this is already available, you know, out at the warehouse in Chicago. Questions? Feel free. I'm moving pretty quick here. Smart Control. The Smart Box has been the best product introduction, in my opinion, that Grohe has introduced in the last 10 years. If you can get your contractor to put this in for the first time, it's all he's going to want to put in. The valve, as you see to the left, is totally encased. It's a modular valve. The supply lines come up from the bottom, hot and cold. You're not coming in from right and left, so very, very easy to plumb. And then you have options. And the total output on the valve is 9.5 gallons at 45 PSI. 9.5 gallons. So the push button that has taken off, most popular in your dual function and triple function, Triple function allows you to run 2 body sprays, a rain shower head, a hand shower as one option, dual function. So hitting the button, you hit the button, you turn that function on, you turn the knob to adjust the volume. But what was added at the end of last year is the 2-handle thermostatic trim. If you have somebody who doesn't want push button technology, they can go with an ADA compliant handle, and it gives you a little knob at the top that's easy to hold, easy to operate, and uses the same smart box that you have for the push button style as well. So your bottom control, set the temperature. Set that at 98 degrees. Up above, you have the option. There's a single function version. So turn the upper diverter to the left, you can turn on your shower head. Dual function allows you right or left for hand shower or shower head. But most importantly, there is a component that's in the 2019 price book. You can put a ring on the diverter handle. It's $39 list, but you simply pop off the top button on the diverter handle. You put in the ring. That allows this handle to turn 360 degrees. So with that ring in place at 6 o'clock, that allows you to power both outlets or have both outlets on at the same time. There is a very large market demand for that feature. And what we do better than everybody is a flow rate. So as you look at the gallons per minute out of port B and C, 7.1 gallons per minute is being pumped out of each of those ports. If you're running your rain shower head, your hand shower, and yes, plumbing code states no more than 2.5 gallons on any item in the shower. But the velocity of water you're going to be getting through that is fabulous. And take a look at some of our competitors and their flow rates. They're roughly half of that. And if you're running both B and C, your big rain shower head and your hand shower, you're getting 7.9 gallons of water. And if anyone has any questions, I can break this piece of the presentation down further as well. But you really have a nice showering option with the dual function. I'm going to touch quickly on something that's not brand new, but definitely a very strong and growing component in the marketplace, which is exposed showering. You have the smart control system on the left, which once again features where Grohe is going with push button control. But that offers you 2 push buttons that allows you to run both shower head and handheld at the same time. And then the version on the right here, the Euphoria, you have an exposed system that allows you to run either or, but everything is outside the wall. Smart control on what I mentioned earlier, you have that push button control volume by turning the knob to the right, which increases the volume. There's also a cube version of this now available in the book that has push button control and adjustability. But the simple point, I'll move quickly on this. If you have a customer and you can explain the rough-in of an exposed shower system, the picture on the right, all your plumber has to do is stub out 2 half-inch nipples, 5 7/8 off center. If he's doing it his old way, the picture to the left shows you the Growflex valve with the piping involved up to the diverter. You've got a vacuum breaker. You've got loops you've got to do to various fixtures in that shower. A huge labor and installation expense on a traditional system. On the exposed system, you have those 2 nipples coming out of the wall. And a side note is, if you're in Europe, if you're in Germany and you move, you take everything with you. You take your shower valve, you take your chandelier and appliances, everything goes, and you simply refasten it in place in your next residence. For us, the labor savings, outdoor showers are a huge marketplace. If you do that, contractor, plumber goes back in the fall and takes it off, puts it in the closet, caps those outlets, puts it back up in the spring. But to me, the cost is really a big advantage, and it looks good. More push button adjustability, the Smart Control Kitchen. So this, not available yet, but shortly, gives you push button control on a kitchen faucet. So 2 designs, 2 finishes, you push the button to turn your kitchen faucet on. So as you walk up, hit the button, turn the volume higher or lower. It's as simple as that. And you could actually market this as a hands-free faucet. And I think, as you know, we're in this really unique environment these days where you're wearing gloves and you don't want to touch anything. You can walk up to this. You can hit this with your forearm or the back of your hand. When you walk in the house and you want to wash your hands and you don't want to touch anything, hit the button, turn it on, wash your hands off, and hit the button once again with your shirt sleeve or whatever is convenient. So really nice functionality with this as well. And if you're looking to make a design statement in the kitchen, you don't have a lever handle. You have a dial that allows you to set the temperature that you want coming out of that pull-out spout. No lever handles, very clean looking. And as I had mentioned as well, hands-free, nice and easy. Right now, the pull-out spout only has 1 spray function. And as this product evolves later this year, you're going to see some options on the pull-out spray to offer a couple different patterns. Right now, you just have a nice, clean, quiet laminar spray option. 2 style lines. You have the Lady Luxe style line, sleek and contemporary, which is available in chrome and super steel. And you have the Essence collection as well, a little more contemporary, traditional in design, once again, available in 2 finishes. What does everyone think? And then, as on the Lady Luxe L2s, you've got the quick fix installation nut. So spin that up and bang, 1 quick clip, and that's locked in place, and you are done with your sink installation. Prices in chrome, you're at $699 list, super steel $899 on the Essence version, and Lady Luxe $799 and $949. And we'll update. There'll be mailings, broadcast as well when this will be available for shipping. Technology, mentioned earlier, cutting edge technology with Grohe and Lixil, and there is a major update in the Grohe Blue. If you have a customer looking for the most opulent kitchen faucet, without question in the marketplace, it's the Grohe Blue 2.0. You now have an app you can tie into off of your phone, Bluetooth availability to do many things on the chiller itself. So the Grohe Blue offers you the chiller. So this goes beneath your kitchen faucet, and the big note to make on this, which you don't see, they don't make it clear in the price book, but you can now locate this up to 15 feet away from your kitchen faucet. A huge, huge change in installation where many cabinets beneath your sink are tight, piping. This can go, on a shelf directly beneath in the basement. This can go off to the side in a closet somewhere in the kitchen, but you can now get it up to 15 feet away from the kitchen faucet. So the prior version did not have a pull-out spout. This now has a pull-out spout, and this now has a pull-out version you see on the right-hand side as well that gives you lots of style line flexibility. So as with the original version, handle on the left gives you standard tap water. Handle on the left gives you chilled and filtered water, hitting the top button. And if you want chilled, filtered, and full sparkling, you hit the bottom button and the handle turns green. And if you have anybody with water issues who wants carbonated water on a regular basis, put something in your in your bar sink, in your game room, this is a absolutely perfect fit with everything done beneath the deck. If you hit the bottom half of the button a second time, the color will change to turquoise, giving you less sparkling or a medium sparkling water as well. We have some showroom customers who have this installed in very poor water quality areas, and the filtration system is one of the best in the marketplace. But the technical update, you take your phone with the app, and you can, from your phone, now see everything that's going on, which you couldn't see with the prior version. In the past, you could not determine if your filter capacity was good. You could not determine if you had enough CO2 in the tank below as well. Now, as you see on the left hand, this tells you you have 100% CO2, your tank is full, you have 32% filter capacity, keep an eye on that as well. So simplified everything. And more importantly, if you're sitting on your couch watching the game, whenever that might come back on, and you have your glass in the sink, from your phone, you can activate this faucet and have it give you 6 ounces of chilled and fully sparkling water by the time you get up and get to the sink. Really, really awesome item for the kitchen. And the faucet and chiller come together. That's one SKU for you to order. The second item that you need to order is the filter. And I love to point out this better filter in the middle of the page, the 4412001. That filter filters 792 gallons of water. That will last, that will require no maintenance for many months. If you want to change the taste, you want to do a couple things to the water as well. You have the active carbon filter. You have the magnesium enriched filters as well that give you a little bit of a different option as well. But it's an easy screw on and screw off filter, easy to change. And the price has become more competitive on this as well. So on the Chrome versions, you're at $27.99. And for the Super Still, you're at $29.99. And anyone on the call with a showroom that has an operational kitchen trough, please talk to me. We'll find a way to get this on display, and can actually be your drinking water in the showroom as well. Quickly, in your new price book, you're going to see a section in the beginning with Grohe China. So we don't have all the details in the availability information at this point in the program, but you're going to have 2 style lines. You're going to have the Eurocube, which has 2 versions on your labs. You have an above counter and a under mount. You have a 2-piece skirted toilet. And you'll have the Essence collection as well, which once again is a 2-piece skirted toilet, high performance, 1,000-gram map test but that will have a corresponding lavatory as you see here on the right. And back on the Eurocube, you'll have that square design with an undermount option on the sink. So you'll be able to tie together your faucet collections with the china as we roll through 2020 and into 2021 as well. So more information to follow on Grohe China. A new pressure balance valve. This available now, just introduced, but the pressure balance valve that we've known for years and years, 35015, will be phased out in 2021. Growflex, which will have one version phased out as we roll through this year, but the four others will remain, and more detailed information to follow on that. But the direction that we are going is the Grohe 3.0. So I have it in my hand, and as you can see, it's very compact in size, and the rough valve this time comes without cartridge. It comes with a test plug, which I'll pull out. So you have the rough valve, very compact in design. You have your test plug that you do all the rough plumbing with, pull it out. The second SKU that you order on the new version here is your trim with cartridge. So flat back for tight installations, DRZ brass, an upgrade on the brass from the 35015 that is more corrosion resistant. You have integral stops. You have all the bells and whistles you need on a basic, competitively priced pressure balance valve. And a side note, this valve actually gives you more gallons per minute than the 35015. 35015 was rated around 4.8 gallons per minute. This is 5.1 gallons or a little bit more. For the installer, big advantage with this valve is the 7 options that you order it in. Universal at the top, but everything the installer had to rough that took time on prior valves and our competitors' valves are now with this installed at the factory out of the box. CPVC, PEX expansion elbows, stub outs, everything once again provides a labor saving with a very easy, tight, compact valve that gives you a great flow of water. An update on the cartridge as well. An exclusive with us is this double ceramic technology cartridge. So within this valve, you have ceramic mixing discs, much like that single lever faucet I had shown earlier in the presentation. So the disc, second in hardness only to diamond. This valve's going to last forever. You don't have a brass spool. You don't have something that's going to corrode. You have ceramic mixing discs. You have a pressure balancing spool as well that's also of ceramic. Questions? The ceramic disc offers a huge advantage as well as operation. So the old valve at the top. The 35015 actually was pretty good, but if you get into some of our competitors' valves, if you're using that hotel shower somewhere where you have an older pressure balance valve, you cycle through a lot of cold water. Top picture here, then I'll try to get the pointer on. So the marketplace is full of pressure balance valves that you have to cycle through a lot of cold water to find your comfort zone. You miss it, you're scalded. You tap the handle, you brush your teeth, you waste a lot of water hoping to get up to the right temperature and eventually, get into the shower enclosure. With the ceramic disc, you have a much wider comfort zone as you see down below here. So yes, you still get your cold water down below, but you have a much easier, functional, comfortable comfort range before you get up to your hot zone. So lots of flexibility and comfort on that valve as well. Then, nice little feature that comes out of the box. There's a hot limit safety stop. Comes with each of the trim and cartridges. If you have a child's bathroom, something where you don't want that 105 or 110 degree hot water, you can put the stop on the broach of the cartridge to prevent that as well at no additional charge. And it gets better. Who notices what's different on this trim plate? No screw holes. So with this new valve, you have the mounting piece that goes first after you've got the valve roughed into the wall. Then your trim simply, with a good solid push, locks in place over the mounting bracket and fastens in place. So no more Phillips head screw heads, visible, clean, easy, no maintenance required on the trim itself. And right off the bat, you're going to see in your new price book these 11 trims. No screw holes, a little smaller in dimension than the originals, but a nice clean look. And the Essence collection and the finishes we talked about, we'll have the Brush Cool Sunrise and the hard graphite as well. Of note, you're asking, what do I do with the inventory I have out back right now? So the old Grohe valve with the $10 adapter kit, you can use the new trim with the $10 adapter kit on an old valve. So if somebody wants to update what they have in the shower now with the old valve, the adapter makes that possible. You cannot take an old trim and put it on the new valve. And obviously on GrowFlex and the Smart Control down at the bottom, the new trim won't fit on those either. Any questions? Fire away. And a couple notes, the Euro style, the Kensington lever will be phased out this year, but Kensington Crystal, all the variations of Kensington Crystal will remain in the product line. And bow loop and allure will be updated as we roll through the year. And I just put this in as well, the Kensington Crystal handles, which for all of you showroom people on the call, most of you have the crystal on display right now, so that stays, which is good news. New shower head as we roll through, another new product launch. A couple more things and we'll be finished up here. Smart Connect gives you Bluetooth capability to change spray patterns on your shower head. So this is a great retrofit item. You can pull off your existing shower head, put the new Smart Connect shower head in place, mount the bracket for your control on the wall. And what you have here is your wireless connection to change the spray patterns. Of note, you've got a 12-inch rain shower head. This has been engineered by Grohe to work at 1.75 gallons per minute. So the wide rain spray, 1.75. If you hit the button, you've got the central, the jet spray, and I'll show a little video of it here as well. Very forceful, that's 1.75. And what's really unique about this, when you're running both spray options at the same time, guess what the flow rate is? 1.75. So they have figured out how to engineer two patterns running full spray face at 1.75 gallons of water. And another great display item for those of you who have shower troughs up and running in the showroom. Let's get this one up and running and put it to the test. Round and square at this point, only available in chrome. and list price out of the box is $600. That includes the head, the control, and the batteries needed for your control beneath, and 3 AAA batteries that are mounted in the head as well. And as you saw on the cover of the 2019 price list is your Grohe Sense and Grohe Guard. And I'll hold this one up, my final demo of the morning. But here you have basically the size of a hockey puck. This is your leak detection sensor. So water gets on this, it flashes and beeps. So if you're at the office and your washing machine hose burst, this would alert you that something is going on. Some facts and figures. Many people are involved in this marketplace of leak detection, and for good reason. 54% of households have experienced mains-related water damage in their homes. 54, more than half. And directly beneath that, 93% of that could have been prevented. So before you had water damage and mold and bacteria and all kinds of expensive plumbing issues, you could have prevented that with a system such as this. So the Sense, you can install up to 16 of these throughout the house. And the reason 16, that is the maximum for the Wi-Fi signal. So I would suggest 2 or 3 down in the basement. So from your phone, from the app on your phone, you register each one of these sensors, and that'll tell you all kinds of information. You can be laying on the beach in Florida, you can get on the app and you can see that it's 78 degrees in your house, humidity level. If it's winter, you can look and set frost risk, but it gives you all kinds of information of what's happening in that room. So 16 of these, but the second piece, as I just triggered this, you will get the same alert on your phone that something's going on. So you need the second component, which is the guard that goes on your water main in the basement, but this allows you to shut off the water. So rather than frantically racing home, you get on your cell phone and you instruct this to shut the system down. 2 other ways that this can function as well is if there's a catastrophic leak, this will automatically shut the system down. And thirdly, you can program your Sense to communicate with the guard to shut the system down as well. So second component should be in place. This detects micro leaks and gives you all kinds of information on your system as well. But the bottom line for your customer, everybody should have this. It should be an add-on sale, on your sales call, and insurance rates with their insurance carrier also diminished. You can get a break on insurance by putting these systems in as well. So a lot of information, and thank you for taking the time to sit through that. A lot of information. Chris, I don't know if there was anything there of questions.
No, there's no questions or chats. If anyone has any now, please let us know.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, I'm just smcclellan@url.com. If you saw anything on this, please email me, and we can definitely spend more time with detailed information on any of it or something else that I might not have covered. But thank you for taking the time. We appreciate it, and be safe and secure, and we'll make it through this, and hopefully by this summer we'll be back to something fairly normal. Thank you again.